Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
Good morning. This is Angela Howard on the C.A.T.S Network podcast. And I have the pleasure of introducing Tumi Frazier of the Fourth Wave Tech.
That's right.
Hey, well, welcome to the show, Tumi.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela. It's good to be here.
I hear an accent. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from South Africa, and so that's where both my businesses are at, actually, the US and South Africa.
Nice. So tell us, Tumi, tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you even got bilocated would be interesting, and more about your business.
Well, I'm a founder of the two businesses, Tumi Frazier Academy, which focuses more on the entrepreneurship development of founders, of women in particular, globally. Because, I'm very passionate about seeing women play in these very high earning industries like technology, mining, etc. And just so that they're running scalable businesses. Now, the Fourth Wave Tech, which is based in Atlanta, Georgia, is a software development company. And we help small farmers in emerging markets like South Africa and others to have access to technologies that are more appropriate, for the people where they at. When you're talking artificial intelligence, it's a huge thing. And most commercial farmers are the only ones who have access to that. So we have actually brought AI to the level of small farmers, regardless of their education or income and all that, so they can actually improve food production while they're preserving natural resources.
Wow, Tumi, that sounds amazing. How in the world did you get into this business? Tell us your story.
Well, I think these two businesses very much aligned to my purpose as a person. Because and my values as well, because I hold dear to empowerment and inclusion. And so when you look at both of them, they are including people. I mean, for small farmers, we're including them in the digital, space. Women, we all know, we want to play in these industries that have always been, male dominated. So I'm an embodiment of empowerment. That's just who I am. I've been like that even when I was growing up. So, and also, my purpose really is to, or even my mission in life is to leave people better than how I find them. And in Africa in particular, or in emerging markets, just brings sustainability or sustenance, to the people, and give them the tools to do that for themselves instead of giving them the fish. It's like help them fish,
So who is your main client, though? It sounds like there's farmers that you're working with, but also who are the women that you're working with?
Well, women farmers. Now, if you follow Africa, I don't know if you've seen, women play a major role in farming. For many years, in fact, I've spoken on big platforms like the African Union, where all the heads of states gather to talk about, strategy and all. Over the years, I've always spoken about the importance of including women, giving them the right tools, because you would see them using very antiquated little tools with the babies on their backs. And I thought, well, I may as well become a solution, to this challenge. Hence the fourth wave tech to develop the very same tools. So now I'm including women. And some of the women actually run businesses, agri-businesses. So for the most part, you have food processing companies, like the the Nestle's, the McCain's, even McDonald's, who buys from somewhere. They get their potatoes somewhere. They buy from McCain, for instance. And I speak to McCain and say, well, who do you procure from? Of course, they procure from, Mail and whatever. I said, well, I would like you to procure from some of the farmers that I'm working with. They say, well, they are so risky. I said, don't you worry about that. I have just the tool. So basically, I de-risk small farmers, inclusive of women, focusing on women so they can procure from them. So they know the tools. For instance, McCain was saying, I want my potatoes to be grown this way, because they are very sustainability focused. I don't want this. I want my potatoes to be grown with these seeds. And these are the kind of things that go into it. So the technology helps the women or any other farmer know exactly, and we can track what goes into what they're actually making. So it's almost like that whole, plate, farm to plate type of traceability with everything that they need. And then I use the same data to then get the banks to come on board, and they can use the analytics to see, okay, this woman farmer has, yielded so much this year, and she's likely to yield so much next year. So, and I said, well, look at the data so you can take a chance on them, so they can then use it as a credit disbursement type of tool to then include women and give them funds and what they need.
Wow, Tumi, we need to take a quick short break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You are listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network.
And we're back. I told you it was going to be quick.
That was quick.
You sound incredibly smart and very, very busy. So I'm going to ask you, is there a nugget of wisdom or an inspirational message that you would have for other women who are starting their own businesses, or a C.A.T.S, a coach, author, thought leader, or speaker? Do you have a nugget for us?
Yes. What I want to say is that if you do what counts, what can be counted follows. So if whatever you're doing is something that you're passionate about, it drives you to get out of bed, money always comes because you're so energized and you're enthusiastic, even when the tough gets going, because business is tough. We all know that life is tough. You just always look forward to doing it because it counts. It really is something that makes a difference.
Wow. Well, you're very inspiring. So I'm curious, who inspires you?
I'm inspired by many people. I do not have one individual who inspires me, because I believe that, we all human. We have our strengths, we have our weaknesses. So every time I meet somebody, regardless of where they are, their stature in life or whatever, I take away something from them, a virtue, that I admire from them. It could be patience, because patience is not my virtue, So I'm open-minded that way, because you learn from children, you learn from old people, you learn from, so I'm open that way. So I'm just inspired by those virtues from various people. Yeah.
Well, it looks like what you're doing is so vast anyway. I'm curious, what is the big vision for you? What's next for you?
What's next? I know some people may say I'm just dreaming. I want to see zero hunger in Africa, really.
Oof.
Zero hunger. It's huge, I know, but it starts with one person at a time. And over time, we get there.
Yes, and time and patience. Something that you're working on.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on that. But what's critical is getting the right people and the networks, because you cannot do it. I cannot do it by myself, So alignment with the right people, right-minded people heading the same direction is critical.
And that's something that we are at C.A.T.S and the network, is supporting each other, showcasing incredibly inspiring women like you that inspire people that are maybe women that are just starting their business, or want to scale up, or are having a day like, I just can't go on anymore. And it's women like you and the network and our support that really move us along. So name a success story. Like tell us a before and after real quick before we have to close, but a before and after stories, a success story of yours.
Well, recently when I piloted this technology, the very first pilot, of course, I wanted to get it all right. But right now, South Africa is going through a major power or energy crisis. And of course, developers were saying to me, how are you going to even pilot? I just said, you know what? I know I'm going to do this today. I'm not going to move that. So I get out, of course, I'm prepared for the day with UPS and generators, everything that I know that I'm going to need. Lo and behold, when I get to the farms, they're even deeper in the area. Nothing worked on the day. And I want to showcase the app, technology. There's no connection. There's no internet. And this is where then one needs to it's almost like improvise, regardless of how much you've prepared. Sometimes when you get to a situation, things have changed. So I had to think out of the box. And of course, I could get only 2 people to download the app and everything. But I had to really, whatever I thought I was going to do on that day flew off the window. But it was a success regardless. So what then happened is when I came back, I decided, actually, let me add a feature onto the technology that can be accessed offline, where farmers without connectivity can still use the education and analyze the diseases and whatever. So I'm saying this to say that, when it started, I was frustrated. It looked like the day was just lost. There was just no way we are going to do that. But out of this challenge came innovation. So this is what life and business is like. You may want to present and do something as a speaker, or whatever. Nothing works on the day. Then you may need to put away your PowerPoint and come up with something and read the room in terms of what speaks to them. So be prepared, but be willing to think on your toes and on your feet when you need to.
Isn't that saying that need is the mother of all creation? To fill that need. You certainly are a mother of creation in my view. So how do we get in touch with you? How do we find you, Tumi?
I'm on LinkedIn, Tumi Frazier, and then we have a website, Tumi at fourthwavetech.com, or LinkedIn, Tumi Frazier, or Facebook.
And I'm going to say this with a different accent. Fourth Wave Tech. I'm in the South, and so I just slowed it down for a few of us around here.
Okay, fourth, yes, and then letter 4, all right, Fourth Wave Tech.
Yeah. Tumi, you are so bright and so inspiring, and your heart and your intelligence have merged to do so much good in the world. Thank you so much for being here with us at C.A.T.S Network.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
take care.
All right, bye now.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.